Hey guys, welcome back to Only on Mondays. Thank you guys for clicking on the video once again. It's my second time back today. So hi, how are y'all? Thanks for clicking on, like I just said again. But yeah, this is Kelly. I'm by myself once again. And yeah, I just had to come on really quick. This is gonna be like a super quick video, just to celebrate what we all, I'm sure, have heard by now, but the great news, well, hopefully great news, of Elon Musk buying Twitter. So what do you guys think about it? Please let me know in the comments down below. I'm curious to see what everyone's thoughts are. I know what my thoughts are, and that's what I come on here to share with you guys. So I'm going to read an article for you guys, like always, and then I'll kind of give my thoughts on it, and we'll go from there. So yeah, guys, so to me this is kind of a white pill, just because, you know, it can't get any worse, right? Okay, like, so Twitter, it was like the worst platform in my opinion when it came to censorship. From the thumbnail here, we can see some of the people that were kicked off of Twitter, myself included. Okay, there's my Twitter profile right there in the thumbnail. I will not comply was my well, that was my like name or whatever. My Twitter page was Kiki Do You Love Me, which I'm hoping, like, fingers crossed, that I will get back. You know, that's one of the things that I'm really hoping and like expecting Elon Musk to do, is to reinstate all of the banned Twitter accounts that were banned for no reason. So we have here myself, of course, bring me back, duh, hello, Twitter. I loved this account, y'all. Like, literally, I joined in 2020, you know, like whenever I started becoming interested in politics, and was banned, when was it? I think it was like late last year. And I was banned for cursing out Leanna Wynn. But she deserved it. Like, she totally deserved it. This bitch was on CNN every freaking night telling us that we needed to vaccinate our whole entire bodies. Put a vaccine in our fucking eyeballs. If it was up to this woman. Vaccinate your 5-year-old. Vaccinate your womb. Vaccinate your dog and your house. Okay, like, she was ridiculous. And I just could not stand this woman, because all she wanted to do was put a mask on every man, woman, and child, and to, you know, quadruple vaccinate everyone. So I just was not with her. And so I got on Twitter one day and just let her know what a nasty bitch I thought she was. And I got banned, like literally banned, just for cursing out a public figure. So here's hoping I get my Twitter back. And then we also hope to see, of course, our president, our rightfully elected president, President Trump. And then two more of my favorite guys on the thumbnail here is Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones. So bring back President Trump. Bring back Nick Fuentes. Bring back Alex Jones. Bring back Kelly. Okay, bring me back, please, Elon Musk. If you don't, then fuck Twitter for real. And yeah, you're end up spending all this money for no reason if you don't reinstate all the previously banned Twitter accounts and make it right what Jack Dorsey and what that fucking, I don't even know how to pronounce his name, and nor do I care, that stupid, I want to say something ugly, but I'm not gonna, but that other CEO who, okay, so I guess a quick background story. After this account was banned, you know, the account that you see here, I had made another account where I wasn't using my face or my like real name or anything like that. It was just kind of like I guess you'd call a fake account or whatever. And I got like basically IP and device banned a second time. So after my main account got banned, I got banned again using my fake account because I was following Nick Fuentes. And there was a time like a few months ago where basically he had done what was it? It was like a Twitter space. And pretty much everyone that was either interacting or following him or interact, I don't know. It was basically all of Nick Fuentes' followers were scrubbed from Twitter. So I was a part of that group. That was my second account that got banned. And after that, I went through Twitter withdrawals. I ended up finally being able to create another dummy account, but I just don't use it at all anymore because it's just not fun. It's like I live in constant fear of being kicked off of this stupid app. So I was like, what, fuck this. So that's one thing I really, really want to see Elon Musk do with this platform. So let's get in really quickly to the article that I have here. So we're going to go right into that. And this is from The Atlantic. Okay, and it is titled, Elon Musk buying Twitter is weird, chaotic, and a little bit awesome. That's a weird title, and pretty chaotic, but not really awesome. So anyways, anybody who is extremely confident about how this is going to work out doesn't know what they're talking about. So that includes you, Mr. Man, writing this article, doesn't it? Okay, cool. So let's see what Derek Thompson has to say. What is that supposed to be? Elon Musk? Y'all, I hope y'all can see this drawing. I don't know who drew this, but it looks like a autistic person drew it. I mean, probably not even autistic. Actually, that's probably an insult. An autistic person is probably a great drawer. This looks like a retarded person drew this. But God bless you. Okay. So, the article states, to be honest, I still can't believe this happened. Earlier today, Twitter accepted Elon Musk's offer of $44 billion to buy the company and take it private. In one of the largest and weirdest tech acquisitions in recent memory, Musk fought off initial opposition and a poison pill threat to buy the social media service. News of the deal has polarized Twitter users and employees. How will Musk transform the social network while remaining chief executive of Tesla and SpaceX? Will his promises to protect free speech also increase misinformation and abuse on the platform? And is Donald Trump coming back? Of course, that's what they're fucking worried about, and I love to see that. Is Donald Trump coming back? Because I'm gonna fucking have a problem if Donald Trump comes back. I mean, we kicked him off Twitter. He needs to, gross. That's what you're worried about? And misinformation, I'm sorry, people need to get over this term. Misinformation is allowed to be spread. That's why people need to do their due diligence and look into things for themselves. Misinformation is part of free speech, okay? And I don't have a problem with misinformation being spread. If you want to tell a lie on the internet, nothing is going to stop you from doing that. But the people who just read a quick article or a quick blurb and take that as gospel or take that as the truth and don't do further research into it, you're foolish. And so we cannot bend or cede to those people because they're idiots. They're the idiots among us. So, and this guy I love that they're worried about Donald Trump coming back. I hope so. Donald Trump made Twitter. He did. And we all know it. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. Donald Trump, he had the best Twitter account of all time. And it was a beautiful Twitter. And we all know this. It was the greatest Twitter. So get a grip there, guy. So we continue. Here are some totally unstructured answers to those questions whose randomness I hope adequately captures the bafflement I still feel about this news. Number 1, nobody knows Musk's true motivation. In the biggest picture, what happened is that a car and rockets executive who made his name in digital payments bought a website where people scream at one another about the news. Anybody who is extremely confident about exactly how this is going to work out doesn't know what they're talking about. Musk is a brilliant executive. One of his companies technologically outpaced NASA at the same time that his other project became the most valuable car company in the world. But solving Twitter, unlocking the value of its content, opening the free speech spigot, clamping down on abuse, Who said we got to clamp down on abuse? I'm sorry, no. All while making heavy users on both the far left and the far right simultaneously happy is a completely different challenge. See, that's the thing. We all don't need to be simultaneously happy, guy. What kind of fucking la la land are you living in where everyone's just happy all the time? That's not how life works. So I don't know where you thought that was gonna be a thing, but it's not in real life, and it's not on Twitter. So we continue. A hard tech CEO choosing to install himself as the head of a chaotic social media scrum is like the world's most talented lion tamer paying to lock himself inside a shark tank with a great white. Why would anyone do this to themselves? Wait, no. Maybe he's actually got this. Or maybe the shark eats him immediately. Everything is in play here. Number 2. Let's be honest. Elon Musk buying Twitter could be good for Twitter. Could. Within media Twitter, there is little social punishment for being relentlessly negative about everything. When you're paid to follow a news cycle that ping-pongs among authoritarianism, pandemic, and war, relentless negativity comes rather naturally from simply paying attention. But this glum bias can prejudice journalists against seeing how, sometimes not everything turns out maximally bad. So while my entire Twitter timeline is filled with people predicting calamity and threatening to leave the service in protest, I want to spend a bit of time outlining why I think Musk buying Twitter could actually be good. Twitter is one of the most important products in the space of information. In the news discourse, Twitter is very often the straw that stirs the drink. But it's a terrible business which has lost $861 million as a public firm and reported a profit in less than half of its earnings calls since going public in 2013. It's also bafflingly turgid at innovation. The direct message functionality has updated sluggishly. The trending topics section is the strangest piece of real estate on the internet, where pylons jockey for space with bizarrely insistent attempts to get me to learn more about Zendaya's red carpet look. Why is it such a bad business? I'm not sure exactly. But consider the fact that at the board of directors level, Twitter is basically run by a bunch of people who never use Twitter. If I told you that a restaurant was run by chefs who never taste the food, you might say something like, "It sounds like the food might have a lot of problems," or "I'll bet the diners constantly complain about it," or I suspect that repeated requests to change the menu are met with relative indifference. And guess what? All of that is more or less true with Twitter. I don't want to suggest that zero Twitter engineers and product managers are on Twitter. Many are, and I know some of them personally, and they're fantastic. My point is that corporate leadership matters, and it might be nice to have someone who cares lovingly for Twitter to be in charge of Twitter, if for no other reason than to do something about that infernal trending topics box. Musk's love of Twitter is beyond doubt. His ability to transmute that love into nifty app updates for power users is less certain. Number 3, hopefully finally, the political effects of Musk taking over Twitter are going to be really interesting. When Twitter banned then President Donald Trump in January 2021, it was unprecedented. Here are some big questions about Trump and a Musk-controlled Twitter. What if Donald Trump is allowed back on Twitter? Oh my God! The horror! Does that give him an advantage in 2024 by being able to buy more shares of our attention? Or does Trump's presence make his awfulness more prominent in the minds of moderates, pushing more people away from the Republican Party? And what if Donald Trump is invited back to Twitter but refuses to return? Does that make Musk and Trump enemies? What if conservatives returning to Twitter implode the value of Trump's media SPAC? Does a Musk-Trump rivalry suddenly code the anti-woke Musk as a liberal? If Trump sees Musk's Twitter as a threat to his SPAC, will he lead conservatives against Musk's entire corporate portfolio? Would that reduce demand for electric vehicles amongst conservatives? What? You get the point. No, I don't. To run a social media company in 2022 is to invite metric tons of scorn to be heaped upon you every minute of your waking life. Musk may have invited an inconvenient amount of political scrutiny for a guy who has worked and continues to work with the federal government. Okay, how many of these bullet points do you have, my guy? Okay, so there's 2. I'm sorry, he's like, wow, he's long-winded about this. So, and then there's the abuse issue, which is number 4. My optimistic outlook for Twitter basically comes down to this. Twitter could be a lot better. There's more low-hanging fruit than you think, and Elon Musk actually uses and likes Twitter, which makes him a good candidate to fix these problems. My pessimistic outlook for Twitter basically comes down to this. I'm so interested. Please tell me more. I'm not sure what Musk's plans for light touch content moderation will look like, but running a social media site appears to be something like tending to a garden, except the garden is the size of Australia, and there are alien weeds that grow 1 foot per second everywhere you look. I don't know what Musk will do to change the norms around extremist speech and abuse, but I do think that extremism and abuse will become even more salient under Musk's leadership, given his reputation. We can only hope so. You know, we like to see extremism and abuse. Kidding, of course. Kidding. As a result, whether Twitter actually cuts down on abuse, I think we will in the next few months hear more about the abuse that's always been there. Put differently, lots of people really hate Elon Musk, and they're going to be vocally critical of just how awful Twitter is becoming, or always was, or how it's just getting better and we'll just see a bunch of haters, which is fine. I mean, we love to see those. Number 5, and finally, Elon Musk has, humans are impossible. You got that right, guy. Elon Musk has proved himself to be an extraordinary entrepreneur and businessman in the domain of digital payments, electric vehicles, and space flight. But social media is really, really different from those things. With PayPal, the product is money. With Tesla, the product is cars. With SpaceX, the product is rockets. But with Twitter, the product is people. Or it's the app itself. Money transfers, cars, and rockets are responsive to engineering prowess. People are impossible. People are horrible and brilliant and strange and nasty and clever and conniving. People bite back in a way that software and hardware do not. So although my faith in Musk as a strategic executive is non-peril, I predict that Elon Musk will fail as Twitter owner. 10 years from now, when I imagine he will no longer be Twitter's leader, the narrative of the 21st century technology will shift from software is easy, hardware is hard, to software is easy, hardware is harder, and humans are impossible. And you're weird. Okay, so that is it for The Atlantic. Thank you, Mr. Derek Thompson. Wow. What an article that was. So anyways, long story short, guys, Elon Musk has bought Twitter. I'm very curious. Derek Thompson from The Atlantic thinks that Elon Musk is going to fail as Twitter owner. I tend to be a little bit more optimistic when it comes to this, especially if he's touting free speech and making the platform better. It can only get better because it's kicked off some of the best people. As we previously went over, it's kicked. So how can it get worse especially if you bring back the best people, i.e. me, Donald Trump, Nick Fuentes, Alex Jones, bring us back, Elon, and everything will be all Gucci. Okay, guys? So let me know what y'all think in the comments. Please like this video if you liked it. Please subscribe and comment on the video also. I would greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate it. And, I'll be back very soon with my next video, probably in the next day or two. And I look forward to hearing more from you guys. And maybe I'll see y'all later. Maybe, maybe not. But, love you guys. Bye.